Hello everyone, thank you for joining me tonight. Welcome back again. This is Yusuf Chowdhury, digital marketing coach here in San Jose, Texas. Okay. All right. Let's see if this is working, folks. Thank you for joining. Let's see, Supercharge Salvo 58. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you so much. How y'all doing tonight? Let's go ahead and fix this real quick. Okay. Kim, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining, Ethan. Thank you for joining. Y'all doing great. Look at that. Already the hearts is going up. Woohoo! All right. So hey, what's going on, Kim? How you doing? How are you? So did anybody get a chance to check part 1, 2, and 3 before we hit with this topic right here? If you missed it, please go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury and make sure you watch part 1, 2, and 3, so that way you're not going to be confused. So Boss Babe Beauty, good to see you. How are you? How are you doing tonight? Okay. I'm trying to be better. I'm still under the weather, by the way. So I made a promise that I'm going to do a scope tonight, so I have to do it, even though my throat is like a little bit sore. So make sure if you missed the part 1, you can catch the replay. Just go to, sorry about that. There you go. There you go. Y'all got dizzy right there. Okay. So go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury because I have part 1 right here, part 2, and part 3. So if you missed it, new creation, good to see you. So if part 4 doesn't make any sense, so make sure you go to part 1 and 2 and 3, because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do like a basic series on SEO, but I want to do it very simplified. I want to keep it so simple that even a 5-year-old kid should understand it, okay? So that's why I want you to follow the series, because they're all related. Does that make sense? So I won't be able to repeat all of them because, you just gotta have to go watch it. So this kind of SEO series might last for like a couple of weeks, believe it or not, because there's so much topic to cover. So quick recap. I'm gonna do a fast recap. In our first scope, hey Muka Mob, that's a nice name. Okay. So in our first scope, quickly, we talked about what is SEO, selling enormous octopus. Okay. And we talked about how the search bots, the software like the Google bot or Bing bot, what do? They do 4 things: crawl, index, retrieve, and rank. Okay. Then we define what is SEO. It's a technical process. It's a creative process that helps to influence the visibility of your web pages, so you can get targeted customer to your website. Okay. We define that. Then on part 2, we talked about why SEO is very important. PJ loves PJ. How are you? Good to see you. So in part 2, we talked about why SEO is important. We talked about that first reason, because it boosts the ranking of your website. Secondly, it helps your target market to find your product and services. And number 3, it will help with increasing the targeted traffic. Number 4, it will help you get leads. And number 5, it will help you to analyze and measure your activities and result. Like, you can understand the behavior, where they're coming from, how many minutes they're spending. So it gives an idea how your customer behave when they hit the website. So that was part 2, why it was important. And part 3, I talked about when it comes to SEO, there are 2 sections, right? There are 2 sections. There's one thing we call it on-page SEO, and there's another one we call it the off-page SEO. Okay. So yesterday I talked about what is the on-page SEO. So briefly I talked about a title tag on the pages, a meta description, and that's about it. And today I'm going to talk a little bit detail what other factors considered on-page SEO. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you all understand, let me ask this question real quick. If you all understand what is title tag, press number 1. If you don't, press number 2 so I can show you quickly. Even though I talked about this yesterday, I might just do a quick review. So what is title tag? Press number 1. And what is If you don't know, number 2. You got one says number 1. Excellent. Boss says, I don't know. Who else? Number 2. Hey, Bruce, how are you? Good to see you. Oh my God, a lot of 2s. All right, quickly, because I won't be able to explain too much because it is on part 3 of the scope, right? So let me show real quick. Thank you for heart, everyone. So if I do a search, let's say San Antonio, I don't know, dentist or dermatology, go figure. Okay. So right now, this area, okay, this is the ads section, of course. This thing here is the title tag. Okay. This thing is called title tag. So the title tag can have the specific key phrase, the keyword. So every page will have a specific relevant title tag. Okay. And the title tag should not exceed 70 characters. You change your answer, right? Hey, it's like, I changed my answer, I know what it is. I went to Facebook and searched the topic on my interest question. How can I post my info to that page? You can to that page. You're going to post it on your own personal profile. But please, let's stick to SEO today, okay, if you don't mind. So that's what the title tag is. And the rule is you don't want to exceed, because if you exceed 70 characters, you're going to have like this, dot, 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 okay? So the title tag should not exceed more than 70 characters, okay? And every page should have its own title tag. So the service page should have unique title tag. The about page should have a unique title tag, because you have to think from a user's perspective. I think it is. I wouldn't say overrated, but I think some people either exaggerate or they overuse it. Okay? So every page should have its own unique relevant. And when you write the title tag, make it like humanly readable, like you're writing a sentence. Not San Antonio real estate dash, real estate San Antonio dash, foreclosure real estate dash. Don't do that. That's like, looks unnatural. And it's kind of, you know, keyword stuffing thing. I mean, that's not cool. But the title tag, it does help with ranking, okay? And that is the link, the URL. We'll talk about that later too. My website is being transferred to my server as we speak. So this is perfect timing for me. Excellent. If you're moving to a different server, Haley, make sure you have a 301 redirect that you have to set it up. Because if you move to a different server, there's a chance that you're going to have your ranking is going to be dropped, okay? So we'll talk about that later. It's a little bit not complicated, but a little bit advanced feature called advanced advanced 301 redirect. Anyway, but don't be worried. Send me a direct message. I'll explain to you later on. Okay. So every page should have what? A relevant title tag, right? And this area, you see this area? This area here, that area that I highlighted is called meta tag description. And the purpose of the meta tag description is to give a description of what that page is about. The meta tag description should not exceed more than 160 characters. You can drop one of the keyword in the meta tag description, because if you do that, it becomes bolded. And that makes it easier for your visitor to click on the link. Now, the meta tag description does not help with ranking. It has no effect on search engine, but it does have an effect. Yes, meta tag description, it has an effect on having the visitor click on your site. So if the meta tag description is properly put manually, you can put some sort of call to action. That will increase the click-through rate. If you don't put any meta tag description, what happens, the search engine automatically will pick anything from that page. Does that make sense? Yes, because there are more than other factors to rank, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Just let's focus on the basic stuff for now, so we can move forward with the advanced stuff. For now, just let's understand the terminologies and what's going on, okay? All right. So that's the title tag, and that's the URL, and that's some of the description. As I mentioned, the title tag should not be more than 70 characters, but if you have a link, like a blog post, like, you know, right here, if it says .com/blog/ your title, make sure the link should not exceed 90 characters. Does that make sense? You want to write this thing down. The link should not exceed more than 90 characters. Okay. All right. Now, so let's see. Yeah, that was like a link should not exceed. Yes, thank you. Link should not exceed more than 90 characters. But let me show you this thing real quick here. All right, so there you go. This is the stuff that you need to. What happened here? What happened here? Oh my gosh! There you go. Okay, let me see if y'all can see this. No? Is it too big? Let me put it here. There you go. Okay. So now probably you can see it. Or maybe I can just make it smaller. Maybe you can see it better like this. All right. Like this, much better. There you go. It's good like that. Widescreen. Okay, so when it comes to the on-page or on-site SEO, there are a few things you have to consider. So how do we implement on-page implementation? How do we do on-site SEO? No problem. We're just starting. Frosty. Frosty. Sorry, Frosty. We just started right now. So when it comes to on-page, which means everything on your website, first thing you have to consider is what? You have to consider, you have to consider the URL, okay? So what I mean by that, if you have like a long link, like a blog post, so you can have a keyword in the title, so that actually helps. You have to look at the URL. You also have to make sure the URL does not exceed 90 characters. You have to also consider the URL is not broken. Make sure you don't have a broken links on your own website. We talked about the title tag. We said, thank you for joining back, Haley. We talked about the title tag. Every page, remember folks, this is like a very, very common mistake that I see. Every page, or most of the pages, should have, phone drop, oh no. Most of the pages should have what? Relevant, okay, relevant title tags. But don't think of too much of a keyword, but make the title tag like a sentence. Like for instance, if I'm a dentist, I'm going to type something like San Antonio Dentist by Crazy Ninja Dentist, okay? Or looking for the best San Antonio dentistry or dentist, Crazy Ninja Dentist is the one, whatever. But make it like somebody so they can read. Does that make sense? So for my makeup course, what would you say? Well, it depends. We're going to go talk about that later. This is when it comes to keyword research. We haven't talked about keyword research yet. Again, we're keeping things very, very basic for now, okay? But we'll definitely talk about that later on as we move forward. So the title tag, remember, the title tag will not exceed 70 character, and every page on your website should have a relevant, okay, should have a relevant, unique title tag. What I mean by that, I cannot use San Antonio Real Estate by Yusuf in all the pages. Does that make sense? If I'm a real estate agent, maybe the home page will say San Antonio Real Estate by Yusuf, but the service page, if I focus on selling commercial properties, then I'm going to say commercial properties real estate by Yusuf. Does that make sense? So it has to be relevant to that page. So you don't want to just throw in keywords. You have to make sure that the content is relevant to your audience. So when somebody come and read it, they will have that awesome experience. Does that make sense? So make sure the title tag, again, not more than 70 character, has to be unique and relevant for every page, okay? And the title tag is still, even till this day, does help with ranking. Now, meta tag description, as I mentioned, the meta tag description does not help with ranking, but it does help what we call it click-through rate. What I mean by that, if somebody read the description and the description is interesting, enticing, amazing, with call to action, they will click on the link. If you don't put any meta tag description, the search engine automatically will pick anything from the page and the description looks like sloppy, right? So make sure, how do you structure the website based on the keyword? Excellent question, but let me go back later before I'm done. Repeat that question before I'm done, okay? Should use the brand name at the end of the title tag? That's what I prefer, Frosty. I prefer that brand should be at the end. It's not a must, but that's what I prefer because I want the spider, the bot, grab the keyword first. Yes, D1G11, please, you know, before I'm done with the scope, repeat that question, okay? Let me just go and follow through this, if you don't mind. So meta tag description, as I mentioned, not more than, thank you so much, not more than 160 character. But if you have WordPress, I highly recommend you use Yoast plugin, because Yoast plugin has the counter, so it will tell you how many count. And just like the title tag, the meta description should not exceed 160 character. And every page, again, every page should have what? A Yoast plugin. If you have a WordPress website, make sure you use Yoast. Make sure you use a Yoast plugin. Yoast, like in a toast. No, this is for everything, not just blogging. This is for everything. Thank you. Okay. So this is for everything. All right. So the meta description, as I mentioned, don't make it more than 160 and have some sort of call to action. Drop one keyword, the keyword that you use in the title tag, drop it on the meta description. Okay. and make sure that the meta description is relevant for every page. Remember, relevant for every page. Don't copy the same thing over and over, because if you do that, the Google Search Console tool can say, oh, you have like duplicated content within the meta tag in the title tag. Okay. All right. So that's number 3. Number 4, yes, meta tags. Meta tags are important, but remember, it doesn't help with ranking. So even if you don't put it, it's not going to hurt you. But if you want to get conversion or click, you might as well make it interesting, like with enticing copy, right? So number 4, keyword usage. So what I mean by the keyword usage, the text body. So let's take the example of San Antonio real estate. You have to be careful. Yes, I agree with you, Haley. I would prefer conversion and clicks over ranking. So the keyword usage, like if I use, let's say, the example of San Antonio real estate, I don't want to repeat that keyword in my content several times because it doesn't look natural. So what I can do, San Antonio real estate by Crazy Ninja Dentist, who offers commercial real estate in San Antonio. You see, I can have a primary keyword and secondary keyword, that kind of stuff, right? So even if you tend to repeat it, you have to be very careful because the content has to sound natural. Yes, it depends how you get your traffic from. Okay, so make sure the key phrases that you talk about has to be in the body of the page of the blog, because if you're going to talk about cupcake and you don't even mention cupcake, how do you think the search is going to find it? Okay, if you do a lot of marketing, won't matter as much. I wouldn't say that. I mean, everything is online. Everything matters. That's why you need to check part 2. Okay, but targeted clicks, not just any click. Targeted click matters. Okay, targeted. When ranking matters, because ranking gonna bring on the front page that will give you more eyeballs. Does that make sense? But if you're on the second page and the third page, that's fine. But if you're on the front page, you're ranking. But what matters beside ranking is the conversion. Does that make sense? Because ranking without conversion is really useless. Do you see what I'm saying? So in order for you to get more conversion, you gotta make sure that you're ranking. I hope that makes sense. But I would focus more on the conversion as well, because I can use email marketing, social media, Periscope to get the conversion as well. Do you see what I'm saying? When somebody comes and tells you, I'm going to help you to rank on the first page organically, then you got to run. You got to run real fast, because there's no way you can rank organically on the front page within 24 hours. You can run with your horse. I will run with my camel. Okay? It takes time. It takes effort, because the reason they call it search engine optimization organic, because just like planting a seed, it takes time. How long is Periscope? I think they started like in March. Okay. So I hope you understand what I mean by keyword usage. Anchor text. So anchor text basically is like a clickable keyword. So if you look at any page on your website that says click here, and you're pointing a different page, or you have a keyword base that says, I don't know, San Antonio real estate, I click there, it takes me to another page. That's what anchor text mean. When you use anchor text, you cannot only use keyword base, you have to diversify, right? You have to diversify. Sometimes you have to say click here, sometimes you have the actual length of the website, and sometimes you're going to put the keyword, but don't always focus on the keyword. Those are all technique. I don't think it's going to work anymore. In fact, you can use SEO Majestic tool to look at your site and tell you if your anchor text keyword base is too high, you got to go back and reduce it, because you can get in trouble. That was number 5. Number 6, this is another common mistake that I see with photographers in a lot of websites. Plugin name for SEO is called Yoast. Excuse me. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6, for checking anchor text is not a plugin. It's a service called Majestic SEO. You can check that website, Majestic SEO, and there's so many other tools I can share with you. But when you get a chance, check out Majestic SEO. It's not a free site though. You can use the free version if you want. Okay, let's stay back to the focus on the topic. If you all enjoyed this scope, please click on the number 23 and tweet it and Facebook it if you don't mind. All right. Now, here's another common mistake on the alt tag and images. What I mean by that, anytime you upload a photo, make sure that the photo has a keyword-based title. If you take a picture of an elephant, say it's an elephant. Okay? Don't say it's, a dog. Okay? Or dbmg whatever .jpg. Does that make sense? 23. I'm kind of lost. Okay. So give it a name, give the file name some sort of definition what it is. When you upload it, there is something called alt text or alt tag. So the benefit of alt text or alt tag for images are for 2 reasons. First, it helps the search engine understand what that image is about. Okay. Yes, anchor text. Yeah, I already talked about anchor text. I'm sorry, Castle. We already talked about the anchor text, but right now we're talking about the alt tag. Eyeballs call them eyeballs. Okay. So alt tag for, let me give you an example. Let's say I took a picture of an elephant. Forget it. Let me take a picture of myself. Narcissist. Okay. yusufchowdhury.jpg. So that's my file name for my image. When I upload it, the alt tags will say a profile image of Yusuf Chowdhury. That is the alt tag. Why? Because I'm explaining to the search engine this is what image is about. Secondly, folks with visually impaired, folks with hey Michelle, folks with disability or blind folks, they can see what the image is, but when they move their mouse the icon to the image, it will read it to them. Does that make sense? So we have to think about the usability factor. We have to think about the user experience for our friends, who are disabled. We have to think about them. Most of people don't know this stuff. So that's why you have to add alt text for the images, and that actually helped in the ranking because it is considered like an anchor text. So the search engine will read that as well. Okay? So make sure you add the alt text and alt tag for all your images. Okay? Yes. Internal links still matter, even though internal link is not as powerful as outside link, but it still matters. So let's say I'm going to Haley's about page and she explains about her company, her business, and if you want to contact me, click here and that takes me to, let's say, the contact page. Or if she talks about different services and if I click on one of the services, it can take me to her blog page. Okay, does that make sense? So that's why I call internal link, and it still matters. Okay. Outbound links also matter. So if you link to a very well-known website, if you blog, let's talk about me, right? If you talk about, let's say I'm talking about a different topic, let's say Periscope, and I point it back to periscope.tv, and Periscope right now has a lot of high ranking, so that actually matters, okay? So that's what I mean by outbound links. The page load speed, so the speed of your website matters in two areas, in the desktop and right now in mobile, especially when Google made an announcement last week that the majority of the search is done on mobile, not the desktop became the second. Affiliate links, yes, affiliate links matter too. When you point it to an outside affiliate link, you might have to use no follow tag, which is something I'm going to talk about later, okay? But the website has to be fast, okay? The website has to be fast. I'm going to share with you a couple of tools. You can use it to make sure that your website is fast from the back end. So is that the no, it's not a link wheel. Stay away from link wheel. Okay, no, it's not a link wheel stuff. We don't do link wheel. That's something we don't recommend doing it. Okay, that's stuff like gray hat, black hat technique. Yeah, I mean even gray hat, black hat, white hat. I mean what the heck? Can it be just colorless hat? I would say the best practice. Okay, I mean the stuff that I'm sharing with you. This is what we do to our thousands of our clients. There is no such thing that says the way or the right way. What we say, the best way. Every SEO has their own way of doing things. I'm going to share with you what I based on my test. Does that make sense? So don't use link wheel because you tend to manipulate. Anything that manipulates, you got to stay away from it. Yes, that's the sneaky stuff, and that technique has been used like 5-6 years ago, so I wouldn't do that. The link wheel, anybody tells you a link wheel, run away. Okay? Don't do that. There are other ways of doing things, because right now, again, we're not talking about offsite, Haley. We're still talking about on-site, everything on your website. What about inbound links from high-quality site? Yes, high-quality site matters. Anything coming from high-quality site, and again, that's an external link, and that's an offsite SEO. So let's take on the topic of on-site SEO, okay? You guys are smart. You guys want to just go move forward. Calm down. Calm down. All right. Going back. Page load speed. Make sure the website is fast on the mobile device and on your desktop. Remember, we're talking about on-site. Whew. Yes, of course, if we're still talking about your site, but of course, a link from your website going somewhere else is still help. Okay? Chill out. Okay. Page load speed. Okay? All right, sitemap. This also matters. So you have to use Google Search Console and make a submission for a sitemap. Sitemap basically the maps of all your links within your website. You can also add the sitemap on the photo if you want, but that's also important because what happens, it makes the crawler easier to crawl. It makes the crawler easier to, what happened here? The connection, sorry. It makes the crawler easier to crawl if you have the sitemap implemented. Okay, if you don't have the sitemap implemented, there is a chance that when the search bot crawls your website, it might miss it. Okay, so make sure you use Google Search Console and the Yoast plugin to submit a sitemap. Robot.txt file, what it does, it basically blocks certain links. So if you use WordPress, WordPress by default will add the robot.txt for you, so you don't have to worry about it, but it comes with WordPress automatically. Google Publisher, if you have a Google business page, you can connect your website with your Google business page. Header 1, so what happens sometimes, let's say somebody looking, yes, it blocks pages you don't want to be indexed. That's what it's for, but just keep the default robot.txt. I did a scope on that, D1J11, you can look into that as well, but just keep it as like the document. Okay? The header 1 title, how does it help with the user experience is that if I, again, going back to the San Antonio real estate, I found the link, I clicked on it, and the page opens up and it says, this is San Antonio real estate as a header of the page or as a header of the content. So that still helps, okay? But you don't have to put it. It depends on the page itself. If you don't need to put a header 1 for a page, that's fine. But if you want to add it, that actually helps the visitor to read it better and have a better experience. User experience is another big thing that most people don't actually talk about it, sadly. When it comes to user experience, okay? When it comes to user experience, what you look for is this, the user experience factors. You know, easy to understand the content on your page, easy to navigate. So don't have navigation page like 20 of them on the top, 20 on the right, 20 on the bottom, 20 on the middle. Just keep it very simple. If you have 5 pages, keep 5 pages. If you have like, 10 services, make them other sub pages. Because if you give too many pages, there's a chance the visitor gonna miss all of it. Keep it very simple, okay? So easy to understand, easy to navigate. Make sure that it's easy for them to consume the content. Yes, I agree with you. User experience is so huge. And guess what? Most people don't even talk about it. All they talk about freaking ranking all the time, all day long. I mean, stop that, okay? Focus on user experience. So easy to consume the content. Yes, I also like video site. Absolutely. That's one of the factors of ranking as well. Haley, good point. Loading quickly, even on a slower connection. Okay? And if so, at the top or on the bottom. Well, see, the cool thing about the video, anywhere it shows up, most people are going to click on it. My website bounce rate is 40%. Is that good? Yes, that is good, but I'm going to also explain to you what is the bounce rate. Let's stick to the topic, please. Okay. Rendering properly in any browser. Make sure that it works on all the browsers. And designed to be, I would say, not necessarily it's attractive, because the attractiveness is the beauty on, what they say, like a beauty in the eyes of the beholder. But make it very easy, easy on the eye, the eyeballs, and whatnot. So that's what I call by usability factor, okay? So let's go back. Now, the last but not least, we call schema. So schema is a bunch of code, just like a tag code. It's a little bit technical. And again, most people don't do it. We do it. That's why our customer have success. Not a scheme, schema. I can't even spell. Can you believe it? Schema.org. Find it. Oh, it's me. Okay, so that's schema. If you want to read more, but this is a little bit technical. So if you want to read more about how to add some of these tags on the back end for location, for articles, to basically make it easier for the search, right? When we say we, my company, yes. So these are some of the factors when it comes to. This is heavy stuff, really. It was really basic. All right, I want to keep it basic. So going back, these are all the factors when it comes to. I'm sorry, you want to go back and check the website? Let me go back, take a snapshot. Here we go. For the person that forgot to take a snapshot for the schema, there you go. Thank you very much. I'm going back to the points. There you go. So all these factors for the on-site SEO, that means when it comes to like implementing on-page optimization, you have to consider these. I think the most important one is the URL, the title tag, the alt text, and the usage of the keyword on the body. So what schema? Schema basically, but let me show you. I mean, I don't want to freak you out, because schema basically is a bunch of codes. See that? Like if you want to add some code to make sure that the event page will show up properly on the search, there are a bunch of codes that you can add it to make the crawler show that result on the search properly. So Bing, Google, and Yahoo, they still recommend this. I know it's a little bit technical though, but it still matters on the on-site SEO. So I mean, I'm not the too technical. I have my smart people that they do this stuff for my clients. Okay, so if you want to read more, you don't want to lose your hair, you can check out what is schema.org. Okay, like I said, I want to keep things very, very simple and go on from there. I don't want you to lose your hair, then blame me. That guy Yusuf made me lose my hair. Oh man. Yes, Janice, absolutely. You can send me those code for the local schema. Yes, I will definitely look into it. In fact, I'll have my team make sure it's done correctly. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about. It looks like you know what I'm talking about. Okay, folks, so that was the topic today. Thanks for saving me from bald head. So can I send my tech team to check our schema? Yes, you can. I'll just charge you a very discounted Periscope rate. It's $1 million. Thank you. I'm gonna make sure y'all enjoying this. So, but if you missed part 1, please go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury and look for part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. I'm gonna be doing like almost every night a series on SEO. But please, I want you to guys understand this because SEO is still important, okay? But as a business, you gotta focus on everything, not just SEO. You gotta focus on email marketing, social, traffic, even offline. Do you take checks? Checks old school. I just go with, with the phone. Okay, so about the question about the bounce rate. Who asked the question about the bounce rate? Okay, who asked the question about the bounce rate? Bounce rate, bounce rate. Who asked the question about bounce rate? Okay, there you go. Castle Biz. The issue with the bounce rate. Okay, so I want to inform everyone. Look, the topic about this scope is finished, so you can go catch the replay, and now it's a Q&A time. Okay, I don't want you to get confused. So the question about the bounce rate in Google Analytics. The thing with the bounce rate, I think 40% is great. Okay, if you get like 70, 80, 90, then you might have to go and check and see what's going on. But sometime higher bounce rate doesn't mean it's bad. I'm giving an example. Let's say I'm a ninja plumber, Yusuf, the ninja plumber that can fix your plumbing with the katana. If somebody comes to my website and there's a phone number, the first thing they see the phone number, call now, call today, and as a customer, I look at the phone number and call you without clicking anything. Wa alaikum salam, bro. Okay, then nobody checked the site, right? So they called you right away. So sometimes bounce rate doesn't mean it's bad. But if you have a higher bounce rate, look at how many minutes they spend. Look at the page per session. You're most welcome, Haley. The page per session. Look at other factors to analyze. In fact, I don't know if I did a scope on Google Analytics. Look at other factors to understand your customer. Does that make sense? Okay? There you go. So I hope I answered your question. I love WordPress. I mean, I'm going to be very biased with you. I've been using WordPress forever. I'm actually part of WordPress community as well. I highly recommend WordPress. To remind you, I also asked about how to structure a website based on the keyword. Excellent question. How to structure the website based on the keyword. Like I mentioned, the title, the meta, on the description itself. If you have a page like the About page, if you have, let's say, 300 words. And by the way, when you write content, do not write less than 300 words, right? So let's say 300 words. So when you structure the keyword, make sure you don't have the same keyword everywhere. Is Weebly any good for SEO? I don't think so. I mean, I haven't used Weebly, and actually I don't like those kind of sites because I don't have full control. For instance, one of my clients who was on Weebly, guess what? We could not do schema.org for them because I don't have access to the code. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't recommend Weebly or Wix and all the other platforms, because you're under their control. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. If you have how many pages? So let's say the About page, I'm going to put San Antonio Real Estate by Yusuf, blah, 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 who sells real estate commercial properties. You have to make the content natural for a human being. When you put the keyword, make sure it's in the image. Make sure you have it once or twice. Don't make it look like repetitive. For instance, let's say blue jeans. You don't want to write something like this. Yusuf sells blue jeans because he loves blue jeans, and he wears blue jeans for the people that loves blue jeans, and you're going to get some kick-ass on these blue jeans because blue jeans is the best blue jeans. You don't want to write something like that. That's going to be like insanely crazy. You're going to get slapped by people and by Google. right? You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that, but you got to keep it natural. But you have to look at the link, look at the images, and first write it naturally to your audience. Then you go on the back and see where you can structure it properly. Does that make sense? The more pages you have, make sure about the relevancy of those pages, because you want to provide the best experience to your reader. That's just one page though. Yes, in many pages, but different pages, you have a relevant key phrase. A service page, same thing. What can I put on the service page? Do I have an image of the service page? Every explanation of the service, I can put it there. Yes, you can do that. Does that make sense? So you do this on every pages. Make sure relevant content and keyword-based information. But again, remember, do not make it like the blue jeans example. Make it so natural. Like make it like when somebody reads it, they enjoy it. Do you see what I'm saying? Excuse me. Yoast is my favorite for SEO plugin. Okay, Yoast is my favorite plugin for SEO. But when you install Yoast, that doesn't mean your website magically you're going to become optimized. You still have to go there and implement the key phrases and whatnot. What WordPress plugin are good for creating good SEO posts? Yoast, my favorite. Yoast, like toast, but Yoast. Spell it. What do you think am I, an English teacher? Let me show you. There you go. Thank you, Janice. Let me show you the link as well. There you go. That's Yoast. Okay. That's Yoast, and it's free. So make sure you download it. I love Genesis. I use StudioPress, but there's so many other themes out there. There's like a X theme, Avada, Woo theme. So whichever you like, they're all good. Yeah, Yoast like toast. Yes, indeed. Okay, there you go. Any more questions? Some butter on my toast for breakfast. Some butter on my Yoast for breakfast, right? Henry, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Frank, thanks for joining. We're actually done with the scope, and right now it's just a Q&A session. If you get a chance, please check the replay. Okay. What is the best keyword program? Oh my God, that's a beautiful question, but there's so many. Google Keyword Planner is free. You can also use keywordtool.io. Keyword tool, let me show you. Keyword tool, Boss Babe Beauty. I'm down a bit of vinyl, so nothing makes sense. I'm actually under the weather too, guys. Where was I? Keyword tool. Let me show you. Let me show you this tool right here. So keywordtool.io. Keywordtool.io. So if I have a website on lawnmowers, but I have a website with 59 pages, what would I put for the 59 pages? What is like a some sort of what do you call a medical journal? You gotta be realistic, man. Okay, so keywordtool.io. This is free, and they have a paid version. Another one I use, I'm gonna recommend several. Okay, another one that I like is my all-time favorite. Noble Samurai or Market Samurai. So Market Samurai, this one right here, Market Samurai, is only like $100, one-time payment. That's it. Okay, one-time payment, and that's it. Market Samurai is my favorite of all time. So the website is marketsamurai.com. Okay, the cool thing about the Market Samurai, it is already attached to your Google Keyword Planner. No, it's not outdated. It's still there. They still work. Okay. What I like about Market Samurai, because if I get 800 key phrases, it will give me like the best, maybe 30 or 20 out of the 800, and it will tell me whether I can rank for those key phrases, and it will also pull content based on the keyword. Does that make sense? I still use it sometime. It's only $99. That's a one-time payment, like $100. That's it. And there are a bunch of videos, very cool stuff. Okay, so that's one. It's a one-time payment. Okay. The other one I just recently bought. This is also was recommended by Pat Flynn. It is similar to Market Samurai, but I think it's more user-friendly. And I'll be honest with you, I just bought it a couple of weeks ago. I haven't tested it yet, but a lot of my friends recommend it highly. Raven is good. Raven is good. I'm glad you mentioned about Raven. Raven is good. So Longtail Pro. That's another one. Okay, yeah, Raven tools, but they're very high-end product. Raven tool. The other one is Keyword Spy. This is a monthly. Keyword Spy is a monthly. It's a monthly service. You can use the free version and also a paid version. And also SpyFu. So SpyFu is another one. And of course, Word Tracker. But for beginners, I would say, guys, just use the Google Keyword Planner for now. No need to jump to all these. I'm just basically answering the question, and we use most of these keywords because all these, none of these keywords are 100% accurate, but each one of them have their own database of keywords. So we use the keyword to understand our market, then use it with the clients. Does that make sense? So for you, just stick with, for now, if this is too much for you, just go to Keyword Planner, which is free from Google. Okay, just use that. Don't worry about all the other stuff that I shared. We can talk about those later on. I want to keep things very simple. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? We have a keyword planner. Yes, Google Keyword Planner is free. It doesn't cost you anything to use it at all. So you can try that. we have an egg in the room. So I was trying to show you how to be creative. I'm gonna be an egg right now. So that's me. Imagine me as an egg. There you go. Now we are one team. We are egg now, both of us. Hatch, hatch. Yeah, man, you gotta do something about that egg, man. Crack that egg. There you go. Okay. Woman for Change. I like that. I like that name. Woman for Change. Yes. After this SEO series, can you do one on how to fix the page speed inside suggestion? Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention to you guys, to make your website faster, let me recommend some tools, okay? Let me show you. The first thing is you go to Google and type Google speed test. From Magento to WooCommerce, will it work with Xteam? Of course, it doesn't matter. I mean, Xteam is, have you seen the my one developer yesterday, Frosty, we did an Xteam workshop, so you can go to my Academy and check it out. But I think Magento is really, honestly, Magento is the best when it comes to e-commerce. Magento and PressShop, they are very good with e-commerce because they're built for e-commerce, okay? But if you want to switch to Xteam with WooCommerce, you can definitely work with that too. So in order for you to check the speed of your website, what's up, Henry? Go to this link right here. And it's too long. You can take a snapshot. Just do a search for Google speed test, and this is the link. So go ahead and put your website right there, and it will show you how you can make it. Oh, you watched it? Awesome. It's pretty simple, right? It's pretty cool, right? Okay. So that's one. In order for you to check the speed of your website, go ahead and check this page speed insight from Google, and it will tell you how it looks on the mobile device and how it looks on the desktop. And my recommendation, you need to be above 85%. We recommend our clients to be above 90, but make sure that you are above 85%, okay? Ethan, thank you for joining. The other tool I recommend that you need to use is called GT Metrics. Do you do any app analytics or app user acquisition? Well, we do have some client on mobile app, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't done any Google Analytics on mobile apps. I'll be honest with you. Even though we have some client on mobile apps, but we haven't done it. So there you go. Okay, so GT Metrics, I don't know why. Come on, GT Metrics, show up. Do not embarrass me. Get a few minutes, maybe my connection is dying. Oh no. Google AdSense is like, to me, Google AdSense is like this. If you want to make less money the lazy way, then Google AdSense is your buddy. Okay? I don't know what's happening here. It's not coming up. But yeah, GT Metrics. Check out GT Metrics. That's another website to test the speed of your page. Okay? Use those tools. Especially, I prefer this over any tool because it's from Google. Then you can go to GT Metrics. Okay? Okay, you have to have lots of traffic for AdSense to make money. You're absolutely correct. That's why I said AdSense is like the lazy way of making less money. The best thing is affiliate marketing or membership site or sell your own product. That you will make more money through that, in my experience, than AdSense. Right? Like in affiliate marketing right now, if you talk about, let's say, SiteGround hosting, you can talk about it, how you installed it, how you built your site. It does look like crap. And people read it and they learn from it and they click buy, you make more. Does that make sense? Agripas. Oh my God, there you go. It came up. So this is GT Metrics. Okay. What's some good blog for affiliate marketing? Well, Pat Flynn is number one. Smart Passive Income. Well, he actually talks about making digital product. For affiliate marketing, you can look at Affiliorama. I think they're from UK for affiliate marketing. Somebody asked the question, what's the best source on affiliate marketing? There are many. I recommend going to Affiliorama because they have tons of cool. Pat Flynn, I've been following him for years. He's awesome. Okay. Give me a second. I don't know why my connection is slow. I'm looking. Affiliorama. It's a website on affiliate marketing. Okay, so they basically talk about how to write content and grab a niche and build everything organically. But Affiliorama is the one that I recommend for affiliate. The eggs are causing your internet trouble. Indeed, that's what it looks like. May I ask you? May I ask you ballpark figure what you make a month? Well, I still want to say that publicly. I make $1 million. You might ask me privately, man. Smart Passive Income. You out of AOL minutes? Yeah. Let's say I'm able to feed my family. How about that? In Page Speed Insight, how do we eliminate render blocking JavaScript above the fold? That base above the fold means that you might have a JavaScript on the fold, so they're asking to actually remove it or tweak it. That is something more technical, Janice. I mean, developer can do that. I don't know how to do it. I just pay my developer and they do it. I don't know coding. Coding gives me headache, even though you need to learn some sort of coding, but I'm not good at it. Feeding them big burgers. Okay. Let's see. A few low. The most important on-page SEO or on-page SEO or backlink? On-page SEO matter. Backlink is offsite SEO. That's a different topic. Okay, backlinks, that's offsite SEO. We haven't gone there yet. Again, I'm doing a series of SEO. On-page still matter because that's one of the things that hasn't changed. Offsite SEO, a lot of changes on that one. A buddy of mine makes $2,000 a month. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I don't make less than $2,000. I make more than that. But anyway, we can talk about it privately. Anyway, forget the money. Yeah, man, forget the money. What do you want to know, man? What the heck? What is this? Focus on the topic, man. When it comes to SEO, I mean, you can charge any prices. I mean, we have big agencies that charge $1,800 to $2,000 for 5-10 keywords, and the price goes up. Does that make sense? So there are many, because why? It takes a lot of work. When it comes to offsite SEO, you're talking about content writing, link building, analyzing. There's a lot of work involved. Anyway, I don't know why my connection is not working very well on the. I think that egg did something. That egg is slowing down my connection. I've never had success paying for SEO. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, that's an excellent point. What happens when somebody does an SEO for you? You have to know what are they doing. I mean, did they give you a 6-month plan that explains to you what we're going to do every month? Yes, the thing with the SEO, it takes months. That's the thing. It's a long-term investment. But if you want to make quick results, pay Google AdWords or Facebook advertising. But he makes $2,000 a month, just one side. He's ranked higher than. That's awesome. That's very awesome. Presco has been updating today. Really? Okay. That could be the reason. So what I mean by, if you hire somebody and you did not get result, first of all, SEO is not a fast result. It takes time. You have to understand this. It can take 3, 4, 5, 6 a year. There's no guarantee. That's the first thing. Secondly, whoever does SEO for you, they have to lay down all the technical strategies that they are going to implement and explain to you if you want to understand it. In fact, I recommend every business to understand it, because one of the mistakes is that When some businesses don't listen to you and don't understand how this thing works, that's when the problem starts. It's just like shaving a sheep. It's a delicate process. I like that. Shaving a sheep, right? But in the long run, imagine like we have some clients that get like 300 hits a day, and now then they drop the Google AdWord because they get more hits organically than through the ad. What social media site are best for SEO links? That's very tough. That's an excellent question, but I wouldn't say they're any best, for SEO, because remember, if you go to part 1, I define SEO as what? Excuse me. I define SEO as what? As a technical process. A lot of people get site and think it's a magic with that updating content. You're absolutely correct. And guess what? Believe it or not, rush videos, if you just blog on a weekly basis and share them on the social and be active on the social, that in itself will be enough. Believe it or not. If people just focus on that simple task, provide awesome content, share it, engage with the audience in the social, that will automatically and organically will build your audience. But again, it takes time. Just like in business, when you start a business, it's not going to be fast. It's going to take like 4 or 5 years to get even. Does that make sense? Same thing on the internet. It takes time. Now, if you want fast result, then pay Google AdWord or pay Facebook advertising, invest more money, then you're going to get fast result. But when it comes to search engine or social media, it's a long process. It's for the long run. Consistent activity and a clean site. Absolutely. Keywords pun to target market. Okay. I'm not sure if I lost track of what I'm trying to say. I was like mumbling. Okay. So if you didn't have a good luck, hopefully you're gonna follow the series, and I hope whoever helped you with the SEO, I hope they implemented what we're gonna talk about. Okay. I found tremendous success through finding followers using Periscope. Awesome, thank you. Okay, that's why as a business, you don't want to focus on one thing. You got to focus on everywhere, like email marketing, social media, even offline. Content is king and video is queen. You also, when it comes to content, at different level, infographic is considered content, PowerPoint presentation considered content, podcast considered content, video is a content. It depends on your audience. What do they like? If they like video, then there you go. You get traffic from video. If they like podcasts, there you go. If they like infographic, there you go as well. Again, this is just a basic series. We're going to go slow by slow until you become like a master in this area. Picture of eggs are content. Have you seen that lazy, what is that? Lazy ass toner? Dude, that sounds weird. All right. Any more question, amazing folks? Whew. Any more question? I'm gonna come back on Monday, okay, and follow with continue with the SEO. But please, yes, yeah, look him up on YouTube. I never understood why people use picture but no keyword. Yeah, right now I'm migrating my blog from Blogger to WordPress. Will that help? Okay, here's the thing. That's a great question. If you're moving from Blogger, are you moving to a self-hosted WordPress website, or are you moving it to WordPress.com? There's two different things, right? Are you moving it to self-hosted or what? Because if you move it to WordPress.com, you don't have control to add plugins. You don't have control to customize the theme. Does that make sense? You don't have control. Yeah, excellent. If you what I mean by self-hosted, you buy the domain and you get the web hosting from SiteGround, WP Engine, Rackspace, whatever. Yes, if you do that, you have full control in how you can optimize the pages and how you can improve and do a lot of changes like as the business grow. Because WordPress is an open source. If you hire somebody else as another designer or developer, they can continue working on it. Does that make sense? So I personally use WordPress. I provide WordPress website for all my clients, and that's what I use. So that's what I recommend. Yes, implement social media as well. Okay. Hey, let's see. Got my guys working on a cool gives. Okay, I don't know what you guys talking about. Okay. All right. Anything else, folks? Any more questions? Thank you for joining, Mail. I'm actually done. That right now is a Q&A. If you missed it, please go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury and check the replay if you don't mind. Okay. So this is the. I'm a WordPress fan. What do you think of Page Cloud and the grid? I saw the grid. It looks pretty interesting and amazing. But when it comes to a complicated website like banking and I don't think it's going to work with that. Page Cloud is another one. It's going to come out. It looks very easy, but we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Things always change online, right? You demand, I will check your website. Thank you, dude. When is the next scope? Monday. I'll come back on Monday. The only time I usually don't try to scope on the weekend unless if I'm doing a seminar or something comes up like somebody asking me, hey, Yusuf, I need your help. Can you please talk about this? Then I'll do it. Other than that, I'll try to spend more time at home. Okay? All right, folks. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for learning. Please, whatever you learn, always make sure that you apply it, implement it. If you don't understand what I was talking about, please do tweet it to me. You too, Janice. Thank you so much. How about you as well, Mr. Egg? I hope you're not Bobby, right? Because Bobby has an egg too. Thank you. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you so much. All right, thank you all. Thanks all. You're most welcome. And please have an awesome weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and make sure you help other people. Okay? And whatever you learn becomes your ideas. So don't feel shy about sharing it. Share with others what you learned. Okay? That's how we can help each other. All right, folks. I'll see you all later.